guys, welcome to the Garbage Time Podcast. I'm your host, Katie Nolan. Today, I am joined by producer Matt.
Hey.
Hi.
So good to be back.
I know, really good to have you.
Thank you.
We had a different producer, Matt, last week.
Yeah. I guess I'm my OG producer, Matt?
OG.
Okay, good.
And the reason that I know you're OG is because you're going to tell the people about Mack Weldon.
That's right. I definitely am.
Yeah.
Guys, we've talked about Mack Weldon on this podcast for a while. It's great. They sell the most comfortable underwear, the most comfortable socks, great shirts, great undershirts. I have a hoodie from them that you organically commented look good. Mm-hmm. This is Katie Nolan approved.
Yeah.
It's a really big deal.
Whoa, I would date a guy in one of those hoodies, and he was like, whoa, that's crazy. It's Mack Weldon.
Yeah. So that was that's how we met actually. That's how I got the job. I was wearing a Mack Weldon sweatshirt, and here we are. But it's so easy to shop on their website. It's great. They look good. They perform well, no matter what you're doing, if you're at the gym or if you're at work. So you guys should all definitely check it out.
Yeah. And they want you to be comfortable, so if you don't like your first pair, you can keep it, and they'll still refund you. Free panties.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like to me.
That's what that means.
They won't ask you any questions, which is good, because the questions they could ask would be super weird.
Yeah.
Like, why are you returning these? What did it make your... Okay, so anyway, go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off. 20% off using promo code GarbageTime at checkout. That's MackWeldon.com, promo code GarbageTime, all one word, no spaces, for 20% off. I almost said 20 cents off, which wouldn't be a huge deal.
Yeah.
No, that would be a pretty
Still
bad...
Still good. Still free money.
20 cents.
But 20%,
Sure. Coming up in a bit, you'll hear my chat with this week's guest, NFL guard Willie Colon, who is amazing. Very spirited guy, lots to talk about there. But obviously what we normally do at the top of this podcast is chat a little bit about last night's episode of Garbage Time.
Yeah.
Last night on Garbage Time, we talked about the Scripps National Spelling Bee, which for anyone who's new here, I fucking love.
Yeah.
I love the spelling bee because I love those little kids. I think they're great. I think it really bums me out when they show them crying or zoom in on them when they lose. All that bums me out. But I love watching these kids get super nervous for this huge accomplishment, which when you think about it is the most basic accomplishment. It's in a good way. It's like watching people competitively do something you do every day.
Right.
Competitive math, super interesting to me.
Really?
Because I add up things on a daily basis. But these people do it for competitions. When I have to, I gotta buy this and this and this, it's gonna set me back $17. Math.
Okay.
But these people do it as a competition. It's like watching people competitively talk to each other.
Right.
It's like a basic human action of spelling, writing things and spelling words as a sport.
Yeah.
Whatever. I feel you judging me.
I'm not judging you.
It's fine.
No, I'm just thinking about the competitive math thing because I would literally be the worst to ever live at it.
Oh, I would suck at it.
Yeah,
That's why I
I'd be
like
so
to watch
bad at it.
That's
Yeah.
why. This is why I love Jeopardy. You're just competitively knowing things.
Yeah,
It's a
right,
cool
yeah.
concept, and that's why I go to trivia nights at bars because it's just fun.
Bar trivia is my favorite
Turning basic things
Yeah.
into competition is so fun to me.
Yeah.
I only go to bars if there's buck hunter or trivia.
Yeah.
Or pool or darts.
Golden tea, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
going to go and just sit. What am I, an asshole? No.
Yeah. I think I have
yes,
carpal tunnel from golden tea.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to see a doctor about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Jim Nance will forever has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
That and the toast thing.
And the toast thing.
But so anyway, we did this segment on Garbage Time last night. For anyone who missed it, find it online. Why'd you miss it, asshole? We did this segment where we made the odds on some spelling bee kids because each kid, all 200 and something, 60, Ashley, 284 or something. They all had their own bio on the Scripps website, which was really cool. Some of them were had crazy things in them, and some of them were as I was reading through them, I'm I'm gonna root for this one.
Yeah.
Not rooting for this person. Lots of people play Legos.
Yep.
A lot of these child geniuses play with Legos, so
Makes
I've been
sense.
saying this for years. Legos are not for kids, and if they are, they're for the really smart kids, so don't judge me in my video game selection. But so I'm looking through them, and I'm like, can you gamble on this? So we checked a couple websites. You used to be able to, but it was mostly prop bets.
And then they were like, this is wrong.
Yeah, we should probably stop
Yeah.
doing this. And so we decided we would give, odds for some of the kids that we really liked. So we picked 3 kids, Samuel, Akash, and Sneha, right? And then as we sat down to film, which we do around 3:34, we got an update that Samuel was out. So we had to rewrite and pick somebody else. And I had people ready. I had my power rankings ready, so I just went down to the next person. It was Ella, who's in a rock band, and luckily she made it through. And then we filmed the whole segment, and then right after we were done filming, they were like, Akash is on stage. He's 6 years old, this kid. For context, for you non-Spelling Bee fans, all the other kids are like 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
6 years old, this child.
Incredible.
Last year, I think the youngest person that competed was like 9 or 10. This kid is 6 fucking years old, and he's so cute.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Akash is on stage. So we all crowded around to watch Akash, and the person, as we're waiting for him to spell, the person, a couple people before him, the word was mimosa. And I'm like, maybe this is because I'm 26. But, like, mimosa's easy. I know how to spell mimosa. Also, if you don't, you still just spell it out.
Yeah.
So, obviously, kid nailed it. Akash, 6-year-old Akash gets up there. First things first, he's 6, so he can't reach the microphone. Every time I say he's 6, I know where your brain goes.
That SNL sketch.
I know it goes there.
I'm 6. Mr. Personality, Dad over
kidding,
here.
I'm 6. But so he's 6, and the microphone's way too high for him.
Yeah.
So he's trying to adjust it to his little adorable face.
I can't do that, and I work with microphones all the time, and I'm 28.
And it's the most stressful thing. Like, as a woman who works in a lot of male areas, like, I usually have to lower the mic. It still freaks me out because I know I'm going to, like, hit myself in the face with it. So anyway, this little kid's very confidently pulling the mic down, and the moderator guy, who's been doing this for years, I forget his name, but he's OG, he's like, it would be helpful for us if you would stop touching the mic. Which I'm like, all right, way to start this off with, like, no confidence for this poor 6-year-old who's already half of everybody's age. And they said, your word is bacteriolytic. A 26-year-old Katie is like, I've never even heard that word before.
Yeah.
I can hear, like, the origin, like, or where the word, like, some root words in there. And Akash goes, are there any alternate pronunciations? And the guy goes, just the one.
No, dummy.
Like, Mimosa kid got mimosa, mimosa, mimosa.
Mimosa?
I've never heard anyone call it mimosa unless it's me and I'm drunk. It's my 9th one, and I think you're trying to take it from me.
Mimosa.
That's mimosa.
That's mimosa.
I've never heard that in my life. I think they even made, like, mimosa. Like, they just gave him so much to work with. San Diegan. And so, like, just the one. And so he looked back like, oh, okay. Like, country, language of origin. Well, it started Greek, but then it became something else. And he just kept being like, throw me a fucking bone.
Throw me anything.
He spells it Bacteriolytic, and it was A. Or the other way around. It's either, the correct spelling might be an O, he spelled it with an A. Off by one letter, 6 years old. And then a gripe I have with the spelling bee, they ding a bell when you get it wrong. So it sounds like I have like a Pavlovian response to a bell ringing, and I'm like, oh, yay!
Yeah.
And it means like, no, you have failed. And I'm sure that comes from some weird thing where you don't want to buzz a small child on television, like, meh, wrong, next.
Shaming them on television, though, that's fine.
Ding,
like,
shame.
Humiliating them.
So he got eliminated. So the fun part of that story is that we then had to retape the block that we had already taped and replace. The original note was, okay, we got to replace Akash. And I said, fuck no.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I mean, love Samuel. Samuel was replaceable. We found Ella. She was an upgrade. But Akash there's no other Akash. You can't not mention the adorable 6-year-old who we had like video of explaining his process, which was like listening to a genius musician try to explain music, and you're like, I can't follow anything you're saying. The words come into my brain and I say the letters when it comes first. And it's like, yeah, sure, Akash, whatever.
Sure.
Who am I to judge your process? It works, except for bacteriolytic. So I think the fix was in. I think they wanted him out because he was adorable, because he was 6, and because they knew, like, this kid has plenty of other years to win. This doesn't have to be his year. And I think that's fucking bullshit. And even though I just said fucking bullshit, I would like to invite Akash onto this podcast or our television show. I promise I won't curse, Mrs. Akash, I promise. But I just think he's the coolest, adorablest little guy, and he didn't get enough time to shine.
I agree.
It bums me out.
He's going to have a long, bright spelling future ahead of him.
Or he'll become 8, discover video games, and be like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I was going to play these forever.
Or he'll meet you and hit puberty really early.
That would be a thing. He's going to be my best friend.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a co-host, and I want it to be Akash.
Wow.
If Akash can't do it, then I'm not looking for
cool.
a co-host.
Yeah,
How's
all right.
that sound?
Sounds like I'm really humiliated. That's cool.
And now that we've talked about that sport, we should probably
got
talk
the big
about
ones out of the way.
other sports. The NBA Conference Finals. I'm so unenthused.
It's been tough to watch.
It's been, and the weird thing, and you guys all know I'm not a very big basketball fan, but a postseason of any sport, I'm all in. I love to watch, but I'm just underwhelmed. I'm whelmed with this postseason of basketball because every game is essentially a blowout, one way or the other, which seems logically like it shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, totally. Especially when it comes to like Warriors Thunder.
I know. I cannot believe that the Thunder, they're up, 3-1 in the series. There's a game tonight.
So there'll be a game tonight.
And OKC has to, the Warriors have to win. They're favored to. I know it's at Oracle and that might be why, but like the lines on these games have been weird too.
They have been weird,
It's like, why are the Warriors favored by like 7.5 tonight? I don't understand.
Do or die. They've lost at their home stadium like 3 times all year, and they're still. It's possible that they could go out tonight. Who are you rooting for in that series?
I want the Warriors.
I find myself rooting for them too.
And it's like I don't know why. They don't look good. They don't look like themselves. And it just looks like OKC is just playing really great defense.
Yeah.
They're just like putting all the right
physical.
guys on all the right other guys.
Yeah.
That's analysis.
That's pretty good analysis.
But just like watching it,
it's just tough.
It's like, what? How are they not? Like they're just not clicking, and OKC is clicking.
Yeah.
Like they're just doing what they have to do. But I don't like that team that much.
Yeah.
I think I don't like them because the Thunder. I don't like them because they're like media policy. I'm not a huge fan of the way they are with like we don't tell you anything and we don't owe you anything and you guys hate us and we hate you. Whereas like the Warriors are so great.
Yeah, they're so like approachable.
The Warriors are like the next generation Spurs to me. Like, I just like that team. I like Steve Kerr. And I'm pretty sure when we talked to Steve Kerr after they won last year, we said that if they won again this year, he would let me come to the locker room and back Harrison Barnes into a corner and force him to drink.
I think, I'll
have to roll the tape, but like,
let's just say it did.
Selfishly, I'm rooting for the Warriors because I want to pour alcohol into Harrison Barnes' mouth against his will.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list.
I think America would like to see that.
It's been on my bucket list for years, and like I've just been waiting to cross it off.
It's like item 1.
Yeah.
Host
Harrison
TV show,
Barnes.
Crossed off.
Yeah, done.
Host podcast, crossed off.
Win Emmy.
Cross that
Just
off.
A reminder, cross that off. Fives.
Yeah.
And then the other series, who fucking cares?
Yeah. Like last night, I was like looking forward to getting home after the taping and like seeing what the score was.
116-78.
Yeah. And I was like, well, it would be fun to watch Drake cry. His little sad baby tears. But no.
That's just the only games that the Raptors have won were games that like the Cavs didn't even break 100.
I know.
They just didn't.
That series has been garbage.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. It's just not fun to watch.
It's not.
But so when's the next game in that one? Because the Cavs are up 3-2.
Yeah, I think it's.
So that's got to be probably 2 nights away.
Yeah.
They space them out weird. In the NBA.
Because Game 6 they go back to. I guess they go back to Toronto.
There was also the weird. I don't know if it was a travel thing, but it was like you watched a Cavs game, and then the next game a couple nights later was a Warriors game.
Right.
And then the next game was a Cavs game, and then there was a Cavs game, and then there was a like why'd they do that?
Yeah, I think it was for traveling.
This threw me off.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Yeah. It's a
What day is it?
I don't know.
So anyway, and hockey's happening.
There's a team called the Sharks.
Yep,
I found that out.
they made it. They're through.
Yeah.
And then tonight the Penguins play the Lightning.
The Lightning, also a team that exists.
Yep, Game 7 tonight. That's been a weird series, huh? Yeah. So we'll see what happens there.
I have nothing here, so.
I know, I didn't expect you to. I'm not going to ask you to.
I'm leaning on you so hard right now for all hockey knowledge.
I don't have an emotional investment in any of the teams left, so it's just been a bummer for me. And I know I should care regardless. And I've watched the games, but those two, some of those have been blowouts that are like, what the fuck is this? It's been a weird postseason.
Wouldn't it be funny if the NBA Finals was OKC Toronto and the Stanley Cup Finals is San Jose Tampa Bay?
Yes.
It's like, what?
Like,
What
what's
am I supposed
happening?
to do with that?
What is sport?
Yeah.
Then we just all watch the spelling bee
Yeah.
and horse racing.
Yeah.
I'm going to the
God,
Belmont
what is
Stakes.
going on?
I'm going to go to the
Wait,
Belmont
really?
Stakes, yeah.
Is that official?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never been to a horse race before.
Are you going to be competing or just watching?
Yes.
So okay,
Yes.
got it.
I will be one of the horses.
Oh, I'm in a jockey, but that would. I think
No,
you might...
I'm one of the horses. I'm just in it because I want to win so that I can have sex with American Fair. Did I make this weird?
Wow. This is the oddest recurring joke in the history of anything.
No, that New York Times article made it sound so appealing.
Yeah.
He
And
sounded
then-
so hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And that Silicon Valley scene, did you watch that show?
No, but I heard about
There was
that
like
scene.
a horse sex.
I heard
like,
it was
scene.
excessive.
Yeah.
Like they really didn't need to do that.
Oh, they didn't.
Horse sex has been a running joke in this office for 3 or 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
And I'm not actually upset about it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
You
I'm
can
coming
be.
back around.
It's fair to
I
be
was
upset with
now,
it.
Now I'm not. You know, I came around.
I just can't. I can't be mad at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's relevant to sports, so
Yeah, that. I mean, that is a
it's our
sport.
responsibility to talk about it.
I
Really.
think so.
Yeah.
Just
We're
like the spelling bee.
You're welcome. You know.
Yeah, you know who we should say you're welcome to? SeatGeek. Someone do a SeatGeek
Yes,
ad read now.
wow.
That was the lead-in was what we were just talking about. So before we move on to sports, let's talk about SeatGeek. I've told you this before, you guys. I use SeatGeek to get tickets. It's the easiest way I've ever had to get tickets. There's no hoops to jump through. I have the app on my phone. I open the app. I can search for whatever I want. I have all my favorite things already flagged, so it's like on there in the screen for me. And it's not like, oh, you could click on this or maybe this and there's a hidden fee. It's very easy to use. It's all there in your face. I've told you before, my favorite thing about it is how they rank it by value, so you know that you're getting a good value. It may not be the cheapest ticket, but it's cheap for what you're getting, and it's very helpful in helping you realize if it's worth the money or not. They take all the work and hassle out of it. They're pulling tickets from all the other sites that sell tickets, so you could go to one of those sites, or you can just go to SeatGeek and get all of those sites in one place. I don't know why you would do the former. Obviously, choose the latter. Best of all, like I said, they're upfront and honest about the price. StubHub will tell you that it costs one thing, and then when you check out, it costs more. But at SeatGeek, they show you the full ticket price from start to finish. They never try to trick you with huge fees at checkout. And as if all of this great stuff isn't enough, my listeners get a $20 rebate off their first SeatGeek purchase. So to get that rebate, download the free SeatGeek app, go to the settings tab and click add a promo code, enter promo code KATIE, which I know a lot of you have. They'll send you $20 after you make your first ticket purchase. We've had a lot of happy Garbage Time podcast listeners.
Yeah, lots of tweets about it.
Yeah, and I like that. They send me pictures of like their seats and be like, thanks to Katie Nolan, we lost. Always. They always are people who are
really?
like, we lost the game, but I only spent $3 on tickets, which I'm like, well, I
right.
guess that's a win.
Yeah.
So
One and
guys,
one.
download the free SeatGeek app and enter promo code Katie today. Bill Simmons, have you downloaded the SeatGeek app?
Oh
and
my
entered?
gosh, Katie, I'm so glad you asked. SeatGeek, sponsor of The Ringer. If you're too busy launching a show and a website in the same month, you've got to get your tickets on SeatGeek.
Oh man.
And launch a separate podcast for every sport.
Bill, I really liked your promo for your new show.
Thank you. Get your own fucking stadiums, billionaires.
He says fuck.
Yeah.
You say fuck.
Fuck. Tate.
Yep, Tate. Wow. Fuck Tate. That's our official stance here at Garbage Time. He's very nice, Tate.
I bet he's nice.
He's a really
Yeah.
nice guy. Okay, earlier today, you guys, I sat down with NFL offensive lineman Willie Colon. It was like 20 minutes ago. He's amazing. Currently a free agent, but was most recently with the Jets the past few seasons. Before that, he was with the Steelers. That's where he won a Super Bowl. We talked about his decision of whether or not he'll retire, the Jets quarterback situation with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Geno Smith, the difference between Rex Ryan and Todd Bowles as a coach. And then to me, the most interesting thing, what I've always wanted to know, is what really goes on the field when there's a pileup around like a fumble or any other situation. Because I've heard people put fingers in butts.
What?
You will have to listen to see if Willie confirms or denies. Take a listen.
Oh my gosh.
Willie, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Obviously, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, your career and what you're doing next and at football, but I want to start on, we don't have a lot of common ground, you and I, as humans.
Okay.
But the one thing we have in common is that we both went to Hofstra University.
Go Pride. Dirty
Yeah.
Dutch, rather. I still support the Dutch.
So when you were there, were they the Dutchmen still when you
they
first
were
started
the
playing?
Dutch going into the Pride. So I was there
When
for
did
the
they switch?
I think roughly in 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of flipped over, so.
Yeah, I liked Flying Dutchman.
I thought Dutch was unique, considering that we were a New York school.
Yeah.
Speedy Claxton, Charlie Adams, Giovanni Carmazzi, if you will. They were all there. So old school guys.
So you left in 06.
Yeah, I got drafted in 06, so 05, 06 is...
And I got there in 05, 06.
Yeah.
So we just missed each other.
Yes, I was on the way out, you were coming in.
But what were your go-to spots at Hofstra? Did you go to Dizzy Lizard?
Boy. Yeah, but see, people don't remember, Dizzy Lizard used to be the library. Before it was called Dizzy Lizard. So when I was on my
A bar called the library?
Well, it was the library. They switched the name to Dizzy Lizard.
They should just call it the library because that would look great on your debit card statement.
Right.
Ma, I spent all that money at the library.
Right. Yeah. So when I was on my recruiting trip, they took me to the library.
Yeah.
And I had a good time, more than I ever had in my life, and which led me to then commit to Hofstra. But Kyle Flood and Dan Quinn were actually my recruiters. And
oh, wow.
Dan Quinn is with the Falcons, and Kyle Flood just left Rutgers. But both guys were influential in me going to Hofstra.
Was Krebets a thing when you went to Hofstra?
At the end, but I was already in the league and kind of doing my own thing.
You didn't party at Krebets?
Yeah, no.
Nacho Mamas?
No.
No?
No. I was Mulcahy's and
all right.
Dizzy Lizard. I bounced in Bridge. I can't remember. Not up in next to Minnesota's. That hole up there in Long Beach. Bridgeview. Sorry.
Bridgeview.
I bounced at Bridgeview in Minnesota's. And
do you have any good stories from when you were a bouncer?
Oh God! Every Tuesday and Saturday was beat somebody up night.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because it was teen night.
Teen night?
Yeah.
At the bar.
So every Tuesday we were finish our workouts during the summer, go up to Bridgeview, and this one was Jersey Shore, and growing up Gotti was real popular. Yeah, so they weren't too fond of big black guys telling them what to do. Yeah. So it was a lot of scuffles that we found ourselves in.
I imagine you won most of those scuffles.
You know what? I have a pretty impressive record. Yeah. So, but it was $200 for a college kid. That's $1 million. So, and we all did it. It was fun, and I got to do it with my teammates, and
And you got to hang out at the bar for work, essentially. That's why I was a bartender for so long.
Yeah, it was. I would tell everybody, summer in Long Beach can't beat it. So
crazy.
I love it. So.
So the football program at Hofstra folded in, I think, 09, which was
08, 09, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it felt like a year earlier than that. Did you feel any of that before you left? Did you know it was coming?
It was a situation where we didn't know when. There was always rumbles, and rest his soul, Joe Gardy had passed away. It was just tough. I wish we'd get football back because there's no true football on the island. I always consider Hofstra football the one thing that held Long Island down, if you will. And, so much history, so many NFL guys came out of there, and so it's important that we get it back. Was it like a budget thing? Was it a? We were making it costs a lot to run a program. Yeah. And we weren't having a great attendance. I remember a lot of our games were our moms and pastors and community counselors at our games rather than true Hofstra football. It's hard to sell football in New York on a Saturday afternoon. I mean, so we weren't making a lot of money. So business side of it, we weren't doing well, but the community supported us as much as they could. Yeah. Is it weird for you now to say, like when people say, where'd you play? And you're like, that school that doesn't have a football. There's like no legacy. I get hell for it. It's really? So bad. Yeah, because I play with guys who play in the SEC and they go to Michigan and Ohio State, and so they all got their shirts on come Saturday, and they're like, Willie, who's your school? I'm like, we're somewhere in the books, and we're just not. Not like you would have found them on TV anyway on a Saturday. Yeah, but it's still good to see them. If I have to, tune in to Comcast, at least I can punch it up. There's no Hofstra football at all, so it's bad. Who do you root for on Saturdays? I don't know. I've always been a Michigan guy since growing up. I always wanted to go to Michigan. I've always liked Miami, so those are two teams I find myself, and I like USC football. So those are my three teams I kind of lean on. Well, hopefully Hofstra will bring back the program. That'll be great because there's a lot of guys. I'm at the end of my career, like Marcus Colson and Stephen Bowen, and we all still are the bloodline of Hofstra, and to get the program back. I still I plan to have kids and like to show my kids that dad was somebody.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it works out.
Every time they mention you or Marcus Colston in a broadcast, all of us Hofstra kids are like, yeah! Because they'll say, oh, they went to Hofstra, and you're like, they said the school that we go to.
Yeah.
Because it never comes up.
That's good. People still love us. Man,
Yeah,
so.
we're very proud of you.
Like the Menudos. Like the lost Menudos. Yeah. You still know who they are, you just don't know where they're at. Yeah, that's us.
That's exactly. That's what I have written here. They're like the Menudos. So like you just said, you're coming to the end of your career.
Yeah.
You said in January that you just need to take the off season, see how your body feels, listen to your body, take some time. Where are you at now? How do you feel about next year?
I trained this morning. I feel good. Everything is, all arrows are up right now, but it's bigger than that. It's about how I can, I know I can get through week 1 of football. But
right.
Can I get through 16 weeks?
I mean, it's grueling.
It's grueling, especially for my knee and my body. So it's about keep pushing the weight down and staying and getting in shape, getting all the bells and whistles ringing, and take it from there. It's a process. And,
yeah.
But I'm honest with myself. I tell everybody I watched Shaw Ferguson retire recently, and his retirement speech impacted me because he was at peace with his decision. It was somebody who could have easily played another 5 or 8 years. He felt like this was it for him. So I think for me, it's about me finding my peace and being honest with myself, and that's a process I'm in.
Yeah, you get that from when you're talking. You can hear that you aren't like, sometimes you hear people towards the end of their career that are like, no, I can keep going, I got this. But you can, in interviews I've read that you've done, you're just like, sometimes your head and your heart are in it, but your body might not be anymore.
Me and my fiance driving over here today, and I said, man, if I get my knee back, I'm gonna be hell on wheels, because my heart, my mind is very much driven to play, and I love the game, and I love the process of preparing for a season and being with the guys and the camaraderie you build, and every season is its own journey and its own story, and those are things that you sit around when you're 80 and you tell your grandkids and you tell these war stories. So I live for those moments, but the body, that's another conversation, and I want to be able to walk and do the things I want to do. Right. And you got to be smart.
Yeah, because you want to have a life after football.
Correct. And I have I'm very ambitious, and I want to do a lot of things. So it all has to balance out.
What percentage would you say the chances that you'll be playing in the league this upcoming season?
Right now, somebody asked me that question. I feel like I'm like 65, 70%. It's still early. Yeah. Each week and a new month comes along, I want to feel better, and it's just a process. I'm just being sensitive and slow to myself, and being honest, and that's what you have to be at this point. I plan to be in your shoes one day, and so if I have to be honest, and I want to be able to move around and pursue other things. But football is very much in my heart.
So if you do play next season, the Jets? You want to play for the Jets?
I would love to stay at home, but the Jets have a lot going on.
You don't say.
To say the least. So it's important for me to just throw myself out there, and it's all about me going to a contender. It's not about me going to any other team, just play. I want to go to somebody who has a legit shot of winning a Super Bowl next year, because that's the only reason you play the game.
So not the Jets.
No.
So that's a hard no on the Jets then.
I'm gonna say this. The Jets have all the ability to win the Super Bowl. And I say that, and I lean on Coach Todd Bowles. I've been around great coaches. I know what great coaches look like. I know how they run a team and what they should look like. And he's all A's across the board. Now the players have to play, obviously, and if we get Fitz back and we stay together as a line, I think defense is going to be solid. But I think we have a shot.
Let's talk about Fitz.
Yeah.
What do you think's happening there?
He's just a ball player that wants his money.
And he deserves it.
And he deserves it, however you feel, however you want to label him. People have come out and called him a glorified backup. But I
prefer journeyman.
Yeah, but I think some people have a problem with a guy who, I think he's a year 11 or 12, don't quote me on it, having a breakout year and all of a sudden wants big money. No, I mean, he understands that chances are he may never be in this position again in his life. Right. So you can't fault him. And Brandon Marshall is, if top 5 in the league at receiver, so is Eric Decker, and he has a great running back, Matt Forte, but it all starts with the quarterback. Yeah. So he understands his value, and the market may not say that, and other quarterbacks or gurus may say he's not the guy for that type of money, but I'm all for guys getting their money. So it's a situation where it's going to work out, just when and how.
You do think it'll work out?
I do. I think it'll work out. I think the Jets need him.
They need him.
They
because
need him.
Otherwise...
Yeah, and there's not any knock on Geno. And I think people, when you have these talks, it's like, well, you don't have faith in. No, I think Geno has all the ability to be a great quarterback. I think he's still in the process of becoming something. I think Fitz is considered, he's had the experience, has played so long,
right? And
he's been on the Chan Gailey's offense for so long.
Yeah.
There's no way you can't lean on him to lead the troops. Now Geno can totally tell all the naysayers to kiss his tail and have a breakout year, and we're not even having this discussion. And McCagnon is, God, because he stood strong on his word. So it's a lot up in the air, and a lot of things have to work out. So we'll see.
The narrative around Geno to people who aren't in the locker room is that he didn't have the locker room, that nobody listened to him or respected him as the leader of the team.
Sure.
Is that true, or is that just an us thing that we think we know, but we have no idea?
Geno's very young.
Yeah.
And sometimes being young, you have to know who you are first before you command the respect or trust of others. And Geno is somebody who I think is extremely passionate. He wants to be great, but he has to figure out who he is on and off the field. And sometimes when you go through that process, sometimes introverted people come off as being arrogant or standoffish. I don't think he's that at all. I think he's very committed. He wants to be great. He understands the weight of being a New York Jet. And it takes time. So he's figuring himself out and figuring the game out. So people shouldn't throw rocks, but let his process make him, and it'll work out.
Do you feel like he would benefit? I mean, I feel like the benefit of Fitz is that Geno can play, behind Fitz and learn from Fitz from all of his experience. I think
any young quarterback will learn from an older quarterback because they've been through the peaks and valleys and ups and downs and around the corner and whatnot. What hurts young guys coming into leagues, they don't respect the process. They want this instant success. They see the Odell Beckhams and they see the J.J. Watts and they see these guys have these bigger than life, personas, and they don't understand that, J.J. Watt sleeps 10 hours a day. He eats, the best. He doesn't put trash into his body. He's very committed into being the best. And young guys don't get it. It's a process. You have to suck. You have to get your butt kicked.
Yeah.
And then you have to regroup. And then you mold yourself into an NFL ball player. And young guys, they're so vain. We were laughing about the other day. This is the first time I've seen in a long time guys taking selfies during pregame warm-up. It's absolutely absurd. Like, you have a game to play. This is your job. This is no longer something you do. This is your job. And you represent something bigger than you. And guys are so vain, and the entitlement levels, forget about it.
I mean, it's tough, too, because the college game has become such a commodity now. So they go from being superstars in college to then, like you're saying, basically have to eat shit for a few years to go through the process. Yeah. And it must be a tough adjustment to go from being like the top of, the biggest fish in a smaller pond to a small fish in a gigantic pond. And it's tough because
the Jonathan Martin situation it's a very sensitive topic because bullying is so huge in America right now. But we're not talking about violating them guys' manhood or discrimination or whatever. That was a whole different identity. I'm talking about asking guys to fill up the fridge with Gatorades. I'm talking about picking up donuts Saturday morning. I'm talking about carrying pads. I mean, my 8-year-old niece would love to do that, and she's not even a contract, but they don't enjoy the process of just being like, it's all about earning your stripes. It's not about degrading you and making you less than a man. I mean, I remember when I was in Pittsburgh, they would, like they do at weddings, ring the glass when they wanted a rookie sing. So I had to stand on the table. And most rookies, they would get their lunch and they try to zip out of there. And all the old guys was like, Willie, you're better than that. Just sit down. You'll be fine. So I was like, all right, I got to eat it. And I put my tray down. And I stood on this table. And it was like, give us a song. And I think I had to sing End of the Road by Boyz II Men. And I know the song. You talk about choke? Choke. Okay, it was so bad. I'm standing on this table. So it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, fresh off Super Bowl. I got everybody, Joey Porter, Hines Ward, Troy Polamalu, Ben Roethlisberger. Everybody's in this cafeteria. Here I'm this rookie. The front office is there because they ate with us too.
Oh no.
And we practice in Latrobe.
Oh. So
we have monks and priests and everybody's here. And then family would come. So I have wives here. And I stand on this table. I'm like, all right, Willie, punk. You're from the Bronx. Let's show up. I get up and look over and scan the cafeteria, and it goes straight beep. I have nothing, and I cannot think.
Oh God!
I can't even remember how they hum it. I can't even do. So at the time, Marvin Phillips out of Cal, he was Aaron Rodgers' center, was there. He was drafted 6th, and we were the only 2 rookie linemen drafted that year for the Steelers. And he helped me. He saved me.
Did he stand up with you?
Because that's the importance of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Here goes my brother, sees me absolutely cracked like an egg. He jumps on the table and just starts hitting it, and I'm just like, in the back, and I'm just like, just kind of, and he saves me, but that made us closer, and I also trust him, he could easily well, I'm not going up there and embarrass myself. No, he was like,
look at Willie.
There goes my brother, I'm going to save him, I'm going to ride for him, and he did it, and to this day, I love him for that.
Oh,
yeah.
And dude, to this day, you know the words to that
No,
Boyz II Men
I
song?
don't. There's too many songs in my head now. I mean, me and my fiance were just playing Rock Band last night. And
That's fun.
And we jammed out, and so we've been laughing at ourselves.
What's your favorite Rock Band song? Like to play on Rock Band?
Uptown Funk.
Ooh.
Yeah.
See, that's the newest version of Rock Band. I haven't.
Uptown Funk is probably my jam right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's good cardio.
That's your off-season
That's
workout.
my off-season workout.
I worked out this morning, played Rock Band.
Right.
My knee feels great when I'm sitting on the couch
Right.
playing Rock Band.
Right.
Oh, that's fantastic. Is there anyone currently now that you see making the transition well, as opposed to the guys who come out of college and?
As far as on the field?
Yeah, on the field and also off the field, just
You
people
know,
that
Ryan
humble
Clark,
themselves.
I'm very impressed with.
Yeah.
Played with Ryan. He was always outspoken, but he was always a leader. He's doing great things at ESPN, and I'm very proud of him. I love the transition of, seeing guys like Steve Young, seeing Herm Edwards. Herm was actually at Hofstra. He was coaching the Jets. And I remember we used to have winning workouts. And Herm used to get up, I think, butt crack in the morning, and he would jog all of Hofstra. I mean, he's in amazing shape. But I was always impressed because at the time you would have the field hockey girls working out, and then the guys would be in the bubble working out, and he would stop by and just give, a kind of a, keep fighting, live your dream type speeches. And I mean, he's an NFL coach.
Yeah.
Some coaches don't even look at you.
Yeah.
For him to stop and kind of give uplift speeches and motivate guys and girls I was very impressed by that.
So some coaches don't even look at you. What do you mean by that?
Well, I have a story. I had got recruited, during the draft process, I was getting looked at by the Miami Dolphins. And so I did a visit down in Miami. And I'll never forget this. At the time was Coach Hudson Houtt. He was a historic coach with the Cowboys, the offensive line coach. He was with Miami. And before I'm leaving the building, he's going to say, man, Coach Nick Saban wants to see you. This is when Nick Saban was coaching at Miami. And I'm sitting there, and I go into Nick Saban's office. He has his back to me, like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. So I have this big chair, and I just see this hand, and he's doing whatever. He turns around, and he goes, he's fiddling with the desk. He's like, yeah, I heard a lot of great things about you. If we don't get Deuce Latulia in the second round or something, we may have a chance of picking you up. So best of luck. Good luck out there. And turned around.
No eye contact.
Never looked at me. So I'm sitting there out of Hofstra. This kid, I got the best suit I own on, and it's Miami, so it's 95 degrees. Sweating my suit out, and I'm sitting there like.
Best he didn't look at you.
Yeah, probably.
Sweaty.
And he was just like, oh, yeah, thank you for coming out. And then whips around, and my coach at the time, Hudson Houtt, he was like, how'd it go in there? I was just like, I don't know what happened. He was just like, all right, let's get you out of here. Like, it's just like.
What's the point of that meeting?
But I've always been. Players always feel better when they're engaged. So.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's just life.
Just no eye contact. Just wanted to let you know we might pick you.
You're
Spins right back around like you're on The Voice.
Right.
Spins on. We're picking you.
Been chosen.
All right, guys, more with Willie in a minute, but first I want to tell you about Super Beets, a circulation superfood powder that helps support my heart and healthy blood pressure too. It gives me amazing energy and amazing stamina. With Super Beets, I get all the benefits without the bad taste, calories, or added sugar of beets. Mix it in water or a smoothie for a jitter-free energy boost. You'll love the taste of Super Beets, I promise, and feel results in as little as 20 minutes guaranteed, or you don't pay. Plus, Super Beets now comes in black cherry flavor, so if the taste of beets was what was holding you back before, now is the time to try it. Get a bonus 30-day supply free with your first order, plus get the book Beat the Odds Waka waka. Get that for free, plus free shipping. 2, it's guaranteed or your money back. Call 800-951-9013. That's 800-951-9013, or go to beatsbykatie.com. That's BEETS by Katie.com. It's a great website. Okay, back to Willie. What about Rex? How's Rex as a coach? Because I'm a Patriots fan, so I've got my Rex problems. Yeah.
How did that happen?
I'm from
Fall
Boston.
on your head, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. No, Rex, when I got released by the Steelers, Rex was the first guy to call me. I had played against him, obviously being Pittsburgh. He was with Baltimore, and I knew everything about him. I loved him. I loved this. He was all nuts and guts, fire and brimstone, and that's all me all day. So I loved him as a whole. When I got there, he said, Willie, you're a New Yorker. I know who you are. We need you. And for him to call meant something to me. So I said, yeah, I'm there. It all worked out. Rex, as a coach, is amazing. If there was a flaw, I think he doesn't want to be the bad guy. And sometimes being the bad guy as a coach is necessary. When he was there, we were the second youngest team in the NFL. We needed a lot of micromanagement. We needed a lot of, kind of throwing the hammer down. And I don't know if he was always comfortable with that. And sometimes as a coach, you got to be the hammer, and you have to come down. And we needed a lot of that. And I think he wanted to lean on the locker room to be that. But you got to understand, Rex came from Baltimore, where he was kind of master shredder, and everybody was his foot plan, and all he had to do was just point, and they attacked. It wasn't the same way in New York. And but I think he's an amazing coach. I really do. I have a lot of respect for his legacy and his bloodline, and I wish him the best of luck in Buffalo.
You say he has trouble being the bad guy. How did you feel, though, when the Bills signed IK after IK punched Geno in the face?
It was a situation where I think Todd Bowles handled it as well as a coach can or could have. There's no room in the locker room for that. The incident is the incident, and I think Todd, once that moment, I think defined the type of coach he was. He's all about business. He's about professionalism, and he's about guys respecting each other. And so when he got signed, I didn't care any other way. I was just more impressed with Coach Bowles.
Yeah. They seem like they're two very different coaching styles. Yeah. Bowles and Rex, because Rex, you've described when he was there, it was kind of like a circus, and I imagine that's not what it's like under Todd Bowles.
Well, it was a circus in the sense that some things were bigger than Rex. It wasn't just all Rex, and I
it's also New York, where everyone's
correct. It was the media.
Hyper-focused.
He was dealing with Izek. It was a lot going on with that, and Rex just wants to do football, and Coach Bowles understands that we're gonna have a professional team. We're gonna compete. And we're not about winning now. We're not about winning when we get, another number one guy or a superstar coming out. We're going to win what we have, and we're going to make it work. And so he leans on guys being professionals at all times, and I appreciate that.
I know you said you want to play for a contender, but if the Bills were to be if Rex were come play for us, you're a New York guy, I know you, come up here this next season, would you do it?
I may consider it. Yeah, I'm not against it. I think, but I'm open to finding out where Willie Colon is at first. I don't want to waste any ball club's time. It's not about any team right now. It's about me getting myself in the best condition I can and being honest with myself. And because if Rex called, Todd called, or whoever called, if I can only last 2 weeks, I've wasted all my time and their time. So I got to be honest with myself.
That's respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about stuff that happens on the football field, because this fascinates me. Sometimes you see quarterbacks, or I see quarterbacks, yell at the O-line after a play.
Yeah.
How does that feel for you? Is it motivating, or is it more like, dude, fuck yourself?
Sometimes telling a quarterback, go fuck yourself, depending on who he is, can get you fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who could you not tell to go fuck themselves?
Probably Big Ben, who's like my brother. I love him, but me having a conversation with me, telling him to go fuck himself repeatedly, he'd be like, well, no, go fuck yourself on the unemployment line. Yeah, so.
How many times would you have to say go fuck yourself for you to lose your job to Big Ben?
Well, I never did. We never had that relationship. Ben was, it's funny because I've seen Peyton yell at his line. I've seen Marino yell at his line. Ben, the year of the Super Bowl, was probably sacked more times than and then in NFL history, I think that year or something, we gave up a lot of sacks. But he stood in there. I mean, of course he felt it. He was upset. He knew we weren't playing well, and probably he had all the right to cuss us out, but he never did. That's just not who he is. He's like, hey, I'm strong enough to put whoever on this field on my back, and to me, he's the ultimate warrior. So I love him to death.
I know it's your job to block for the quarterback. Is it harder to do when you are blocking for a quarterback that you don't really like very much?
No, because I think that just shows that's my weakness. You know, if you can't separate your feelings from your professional job, you shouldn't be on the field. Because, you know, it's like anything. You're not going to like your boss, but when it's time to go to work, you don't go to work.
Yeah, sometimes.
Right, but you're also not going to call in sick because you're not like your boss.
That's true.
So I don't think about it like that. You know, I have a job to keep them upright, and I just attack it like that.
Is there anything crazy that happens on that line? Like, first of all, be honest. I'm not going to tell anybody. Like, how?
You're not going to tell anybody while we're on podcast.
No, it's a big secret. Don't just ignore the cameras. How often are you guys all getting away with holding someone on a play and nobody notices? It has to happen every play.
There's no way of not holding, but I feel like it's over exaggerated because defensive guys are stat guys.
Yeah.
So if they get robbed out of something, a stat, it's like pulling a leg out of them. They're like, what are you talking about? But the way the refs are now, they see everything. So we have to be a lot more, we got to be a lot more tight on our hand placement and really being smart. But, we got the best athletes attacking us at full speed.
It seems impossible to me not to hold somebody. It's like kind of your job.
They'll get over it. Like I don't listen to it because they'll be the first one to club you upside your head or do something dumb and act like they didn't do anything. So I don't listen to it.
It just seems so. I can't wrap my mind around how hard it must be in the heat of the moment when you're ramming at each other to be like, I can't put my hand in this specific spot. I have to put, and I can't.
Yeah, especially when you got like J.J. Watt and Dom Kasu trying to rip your head off to get to your quarterback.
Yeah.
No, there's no way I can hold. It's impossible. I have to be technique. No. If I got a chance to mug you, I'm going to mug you.
So what percentage of plays would you say there's holding that the refs don't see?
I don't know. That's hard. Depending on the play, because every play is different. Some plays are called or driven, derived from me to holding you. But it is what it is.
So like 80%?
No, I'm not going to give O-lineman a bad name.
So like 90%?
No. Defensive guys are crybabies.
Yes. Those gigantic men are such crybabies.
Because you can lock a guy, and if he turns, it looks like I'm holding him.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm in here, but...
You think they do that on purpose sometimes just to try to get the whole call?
You'll see guys flare their hands up, or you hear like a scream or whatever, so they're all drama queens.
Okay, other question just for my own personal curiosity. Those big pileups that happen.
Yeah.
I've heard that like some shit goes down in those pileups. Like dudes are like poking eyes or like maybe putting fingers up butts. Like I've heard some weird stuff happens when you guys all pile.
So before, I don't know when the rule changed, but you used to line up in field goal 3 guys on the guard.
Yeah.
And that was when I started in the league. So I used to go against Baltimore. So I used to put Haloti Nada, Kelly Gregg, and Trevor Price all on the guard.
Trevor Price is my boy.
Right. And they used to try to knock the living soul out of you. So Haloti used to either try to swim me, and I used to get a shot in the gut, and then if I fell, they used to try to step on my hands. And this is at every field goal. So then they stopped it, and now underneath piles, either a fumble or at the end of a play, I've been hitting the nuts, I've been eye gouged, I've been fish hooked, I've done it, I've gotten it all. So, but it's the game. It's the game.
Is it the game?
Because what else? Who am I going to cry to?
I don't know. Me. You should air your grievances here.
No, because I'm trust and believe I'm going to get you.
Oh yeah.
I'm that guy.
But when you're in a pile, you have no idea whose finger that is in your eyeball.
Oh, I know who it is.
You do.
Yeah, because if you're fish hooking me, I'm going to look like okay. So it's I'm going to get you. I know I'm not one of those guys that complain or like no, because if you want to go there, that's definitely in my range. So. And most guys back down because I'm the guy like that clean you up after play or
I wouldn't
happily roll his 360-pound body on the back of your legs. Yeah, I'm that guy. So if we want to go there, we can. And most guys say, "All right, enough, Willie." I'm like, "All right, thanks for coming out." So.
Another thing that fascinates me: why do so many of you not wear cups? Seems like a thing you should probably definitely wear.
I think all of us could have iron cast balls.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, we all have iron balls, so we're pretty sturdy down there.
Of all sports. Why does
Well,
why do football players
you
not wear?
don't really get hit in the nuts. It's one of those
You
things.
could.
Yeah, but you can also lose an eye, but you don't bank on it. So like I don't bank on getting hit in the nuts.
You're right. You should also wear goggles. You should wear goggles and a
So you want
coat.
us out there looking like Michael Phelps with helmets
Yes,
on? Yeah,
yes.
let's get it.
I think that's safest. I'm thinking you said you wanted to have kids someday. Wear a cup.
Nah, I don't need a cup. I'm fine. I'm in a sumo stance half of the day, so if you get down there, you were looking for them. So that's just the way it is. Yeah.
How much smack talking is happening on the line?
I'm always yapping off.
Yeah.
For me, I'm considered the enforcer, if you will. So if you pick a fight with one of the receivers or a running back or even my quarterback, chances are I'm coming for you. Because those guys, they're small. They can't beat up half of the guys on the field. Their job is to get the ball and get out the way and get to the end zone. So I try to keep things, but it gets hot and heated, and like I said, I'm built for it. Because I believe a lot of guys like to go from gangster to girl. They're big and they love to talk it and walk it until you get in their face and it really show them what it's about.
Yeah, like who?
Who? I don't know. I'm not gonna name names because we may see each other in a bar, and I don't, and jail's for nobody. So, but there's a lot of guys that like to talk it, but when it gets hot, they don't like to walk it. So.
I want to know who.
Yeah.
What's your go-to smack talk? What do you say when you're yapping?
Like
what are you usually yelling?
It depends. I can go from talking about your mama.
That sounds off limits to me.
Yeah, but it's just for me to get to that point, the gloves are off already, so I'm bare knuckle at this point. So, people talk about my mama. It is what it is. I don't talk about people's wives. So
that's the line.
Yeah,
that's where we draw the line.
For me, that's the line. I don't go to people's wives.
How about their pets? Would you talk about their pets?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll slam on somebody's rabbit. Yeah, I don't care. I'll talk about somebody's rabbit.
Who has a rabbit?
You just be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have weird pets. I have a dog.
That's normal.
I hope so, but I've seen a lot of people with strange.
Like iguanas and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot the linebacker out of Florida State. He played for Detroit for a while, but he had like a whole reptile thing in his house.
That's weird.
Yeah, he had like a kimono dragon and all this exotic stuff. It was just extravagant.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I don't need that.
And I was, I was afraid. I knew the guy off and on, but I love Gator shoes, so I didn't want to offend him.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you got to be careful.
Couldn't have that friendship. Like if you walked in with dog shoes on, you'd be like, "That's fucked up."
Well, obviously, I got to body slam him at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
You had to kill
Is
something.
that just what you do? You just body slam people when they upset you?
It's cool when you're 16. When you get 33, you go to jail. So that's what
that's
I try.
True.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah.
All right, so you won't name anybody who talks a lot of smack and then was it gangsta to girl? You won't name anybody who does that, but who have you lined up against somebody who's really good at talking shit and kind of gets in your head a little bit? There's
nobody that ever got in my head. When I played against Bart Scott, he would just not stop talking. To the point where I forgot what we were arguing about. I'm like, I don't even know where we're at this point. So I would stop talking to him. Sean Smith, defensive tackle. I don't know if he's still in the league. He's a journeyman, but he was just relentless. He was another guy. I'm exhausted. I have too much worrying about going on in this play to keep talking to you. But you run into guys. This guys that just love to get chapping. So we'll see.
Do you ever worry that that's going to get picked up on a mic? And someone's going to be like, what the fuck is Willie talking about?
They've tried to clean it up. You can't curse. And I got a penalty this year on the sideline. Me and DRC from the Giants, we had some choice words for each other. And the ref is standing right. He hears it. He turns around and throws a flag. And I'm not even dressed for the game. So I look like the ultimate bozo at this point. And I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, well, you were outside the box. But I knew for a fact it was because what I called him that he threw the flag at me.
Really?
Yeah, and it cost my offense 15, 15
was
yards.
Was your coach pissed at you?
Pissed. He gave me the nastiest look a human being could give another person.
Show me.
It was just like.
Oh,
and I was sitting there and then I was like, oh my God. But thank God on the next play, Bilal Powell took a screen to the house and saved the day. But it killed me because I was just like, you're not even playing and you're getting a flag?
That sucks.
It was bad, but I knew the ref punked out.
Yeah.
'Cause I think whatever came out of my mouth, he's never heard.
Do you remember what came out of your mouth?
Yeah.
What was it?
And I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Does it start with a A?
Starts with an M.
An M.
Ends with an R.
Ends with an R. So
And-
motherfucker.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
with a splash of cocksucker.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Those rhyme too. He
Yeah.
should at least give you style points.
exactly. But I felt like it was so pure. He's just like, I gotta flag you. That was too vicious. So.
Motherfuckers too vicious, please.
Well, that's what I said, and then obviously he didn't.
Please.
No, he may lead his own Bible study, so it may offend him.
Oh yeah,
So-
maybe.
So we'll see.
Bible study, just like football.
Yep.
Let's talk about future for Willie Colon.
Sure.
Looking past the league, you've gone to this broadcast boot camp thing,
Yeah.
right, for the last 2 years?
The NFL PA does it. It's for guys who are interested in getting into the media and the broadcast world, and it's an opportunity for, anybody and everybody, if you've played, present and former players, to, get engaged with the media, and you're around some amazing people, guys who are really, really doing it at a big level, executive-wise. And it's a chance for those guys to kind of see what it really is and
Yeah.
you go through it. So
What do they have you do there?
So you go through mock sections. You do studio analyst work. You do field interviews. You do teleprompter, and it's a lot. And it's grueling from the standpoint if you've never done it. It's a lot, but it's good because it shows guys that you just can't show up and be a pretty face. You got to work.
Yeah, a lot of people think that all you do is just like sit and talk, and then it's
Right,
really
and
easy, but it's tough.
And wear jeans with holes in them and long hair and
This motherfucker,
Right.
cocksucker
But-
over here.
so.
So you looking forward to a career in broadcasting?
It's becoming a passion of mine. I feel like I have enough energy and want to do it. I think
agree.
for me it's about telling a story and telling a story from a player who's spent 10 years and going on to 11 years in the NFL, and the game's always changing. There's so much going on, and fans want to be engaged, and I think I can bring them into the locker room.
Yeah, that's what I can't do that, obviously. I've gone into locker rooms. I wasn't supposed to be there, but I've broken into them. But
seem
nobody
like a
wants to
rebel.
hear
You
those.
have a rebel spirit.
Yeah,
You're from Hofstra, so.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear those stories. But like the value of hearing somebody who did it for so long,
Yeah.
and at such a highly competitive level and on such big teams. I mean, it's really interesting to hear the things you have to say.
I love, as much as I love talking to you guys, I love talking.
You guys.
I love talking to the old timers.
Yeah.
Guys like Mike Ditka, and sitting around and talking to Dalius Thomas, who was in the broadcast boot camp, who I played with, tell his Belichick stories in New England, and because those guys, they know it, they've been around it, they can talk about it. So it's and everybody has a story.
Yeah.
Everybody has a story.
Do you ever have any fear that you'll tell a story of something that happened in your time in the league, and then someone will be like, "You shouldn't have told anybody that"? And
Oh, my fiance cringes all the time when something slips out of my mouth. Because she's always like, "You're gonna pay for that."
Yeah.
And sometimes she's right, sometimes she's wrong. But I don't feel like you can sit in this seat and be true to the real sports fan out there and not kind of give them everything they're looking for.
yeah,
So,
there's a delicate balance. Because
There is.
I did some stuff with Trevor Price, and I used to always ask him questions that if we were, he and I hanging out at a bar, he'd answer one way, but then when we're on TV, he's like, "I obviously can't tell that story
Yeah.
on TV." But there's this like, I wish you could, but I also understand the
yeah,
other
because
side
a lot
of
of
it.
stories, they're you're either a part of them or a guy that was a part of them. And you never want to sell out the guy who maybe did something out of character. But it's a hell of a story when you tell it. So it's
I think you should tell it.
of course, and then have my phone blow up. Like, what are you doing?
It's your problem, it's not my
Right.
problem. What was the hardest part of broadcast boot camp for you? What was the hardest thing they made you do? Like teleprompter? Do you like reading teleprompter?
The prompter wasn't bad. I love the studio analyst work. Color cast was different. I think the field interview was a little, because they had us at Sports Authority talking about the chop block rule, and we were in suits.
What?
So trying to get that adjusted into yourself, and then now explain to the world what a chop block is, and the process of interviewing a guy was a bit challenging, but it was a great task, and I think I attempted as well as I could on the spot. So it was
I'm
good.
gonna get the film and I'll send you some notes.
It's atrocious. I know it. I felt it.
It's bad?
I felt it was bad. It was. I don't
Just
even.
that one part? The field interview part?
It was tough.
Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't receive
Who'd you
it.
interview?
Big Daddy Marcus Price. He played for the Cowboys and Bills.
Yeah.
And he's getting into the broadcast world, and he's down in Texas, so he's doing well for himself. But me and his interview was funny, so it was good.
I'm going to find it.
I'm
going to pay somebody for that tape.
I'm big into being, hey, I'm human, just like everybody else.
Oh,
so.
please. I have millions of awful interviews that aired on television of
Really?
mine, so you can make fun of me as much as you want to.
And I'm my hardest critic, so it's...
Me too.
I'm just like, oh.
It's tough. Doing
Yeah.
TV stuff is tough, especially now. It all lives online forever for the rest of your life.
And my fiance is a communications major, so she sees it all. She's like, so I just turn it off and crawl into a corner next to my dog.
She's good to have in your life. She'll keep you in line.
Yeah, she definitely.
That seems like a really impossible job, but I bet she's real good at it.
Right. Exactly.
Keeping you in line.
Yeah.
Keeping you on task.
We're definitely a part of the same tribe, so it helps.
Well, I mean, you if you need to practice interviewing, you can always practice interviewing me. I know I'm really fascinating as a person. Lots, that I could share with you.
Sure.
They don't invite me to broadcast boot camp. I don't know why they don't want me. I should coach people.
Okay. No, but you should go because guys are very humbled and honored just to be around you guys. Seriously, because you...
Not me.
Your prime time.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you got garbage can with your name on it.
I know.
That's pretty big.
I know.
Come out of Hofstra?
I made that myself and made them hang it here.
Good. It looks like you have some artistic skills. So
is there anybody you've seen at these boot camps? Because you've gone twice, right?
I have. So there's an intermediate and then there's an advanced.
Ooh.
So I was a part of the advanced.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I felt pretty big.
Anybody else in the league you see that you're like, oh, he's going to have a career in broadcasting, that like shines at boot camp?
Ben Lieber, who's played in Minnesota, I thought he was impressive. I liked him a lot. Adelius Thomas, who I mentioned earlier, is just flat out one of the funniest human beings I've ever met. He's really a guy's guy, and I would love for the day he gets a nod to do more stuff because I think he has. You talk about stories. I mean, he kept us laughing the whole time, so he's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall hasn't gone to these things, has he?
I think Brandon Marshall's. I think he's up for an Oscar. And,
he's so good.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. He's immaculate.
Is he nice?
B. Marshall?
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart of a man.
Because I adore him.
He has that big smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good, very good man.
Okay, cool. Because if you were like, nah, he sucks, I'd be devastated.
No, B. Marshall's. It's funny because when he got to the Jets, you obviously heard all the stuff that came along with him. But from the day he stepped in that building, he was committed, and he's been awesome for the Jets, and he's definitely a locker room leader. But off the field, there's not a time I can't call. He doesn't respond and say, hey, I can do it or not. And he's always good to me, so I got to talk great about him.
I like that.
Yep.
I like him. If you want to tell him I said hi next time you talk to him, you can do that.
Yeah, he'll appreciate that.
He's like, who?
Right.
Who?
Who with the Hofstra?
Before I let you go, I'll be like, where? I heard that you were having a spirited conversation before we started taping about our boy from Hofstra, Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman. He's not fighting next weekend.
I know. What was the spirited discussion you were having? How do you feel about Weidman?
Me and my buddies, we know Weidman pretty well.
Such a nice guy.
Sweetheart of a man. We went out to Vegas for the day of the fight. And if anybody's ever been to Vegas, everybody knows the pool parties are absolutely it's a show. So me and my brother and Kenneth Sussman, one of my closest best friends who also attended Hofstra, we absolutely tear it up during this day party. We make it back to our hotel room, get all dressed up. I have an orange and white seersucker.
Wow.
I'm very passionate about going to the UFC fight. I'm ready to go.
Uh-oh.
We get to the fight. So prior to that, we had trash at our hotel room. So we're trying to get through the trash because guys wrestle when you drink, and that's just what men do, I guess. So
what is wrong with you, animals?
I don't know. It's just it's the primal sense we have. Anyway, so we get to the match, and it's packed with Brazilians. I mean, it's loaded to the ceiling Brazilians. And the section we are in, it's nothing but Americans. So Weidman comes out, and we're like, USA.
Did you get your tickets through Weidman or something? Were you in the American section?
We brought tickets, and we get there, and Weidman comes out.
Yeah.
And they're screaming USA, and we're like, I mean, I'm Justin Bieber screaming at this point. I'm losing it. losing it. Man, Silva comes out.
Oh,
And
God.
the place. You ever seen Planet of the Apes when the prime ape comes back and he beats up the other ape? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
It was like that, and I'm like, I've never felt that roar. I played the Super Bowl. I've been in big games. It was the most intense roar I've ever heard. Both of these guys get in the ring, and I think they mic the cage, so would it click? And it clicks, and I've never felt this feeling. It was like my heart was like, boom. I was like, get him out of there! Get him out! I was like, I didn't want to see him get hurt. Aww. And so I'm sitting there, and it's like, and then, Buffer gets on, he's like, and we're live, and it's intense, and I'm like holding on to my brother, I'm holding on to my best friend, and they get out, and then, they get the scrap, and then Weidman gets him, and drops Silva, and I can remember saying, I think I wet myself, screamed, cried, threw my beer, probably 8 rows back, I exploded into confetti pretty much. And so I had this orange seersucker suit, but we're all trash from the day party, by the way. Weidman wins, and it was insane. I didn't really get to celebrate my Super Bowl because I was like numb, like I didn't realize what was really going on. But this time I felt like everything I've ever wanted to celebrate it happened right there. So I take off my jacket, and I'm about to rip my clothes off, and I'm swinging my orange seersucker jacket like this. And my brother jumps on me. He's like, no. He's like, you're about to get naked. Like, I actually lose it. And I was so like trashed, and we were all so excited, and Weidman has a flag, and it's Bud Light. You ever seen wrestling with Stone Cold asks for the beer?
Yeah.
So guys are throwing, there's a group of guys they have, I don't know how they got a case of Bud Light into the place, but they did. And they're throwing Bud Light, and I'm catching them, and we're scratching it, we're throwing it on each other. It's insane. And we leave the arena, and at the time, my buddy Big Mac Starks, who's like 6'8", walking out with me, he's like, USA, and we go screaming USA all the way out the building. And I'm glad we didn't get like roundhouse kicked by 80 Brazilians, because they were all around us. And then we pretended, we just lose our mind for the rest of the night. And
Your fiance probably loves this story.
Oh, she's used to it. She lives the dream with me, so she's
oh my God, was that the first Silva fight?
That was the first one.
Yeah. Oh my God.
When he was trying to fake him, and so.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So Chris Weidman, I love your brother.
Didn't get naked though.
Definitely.
All right, we got to let you go because you got to fly. But we wrap this up with 10 funny, silly, rapid-fire questions.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, garbage 10, Willie Colon. Here we go. What was your first AOL screen name?
Big Nasty 77.
Ranch or blue cheese?
Ranch.
What was the first concert you ever went to?
The Puff Puff Pass Tour at Hofstra at the Continental Arena. I was there. My first contact high ever.
Who is your favorite superhero?
The Incredible Hulk.
Do you put ketchup on top of your fries or on the side?
Side.
What's your guilty pleasure television show? Very embarrassing.
Which one, babe? Oh, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Yeah.
Oof.
I secretly watch it in the dark.
Oof. Do you floss before you brush your teeth or after?
Both.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Hot dog is God.
What?
It's God.
It's God.
Yeah, it's the one thing that tears my stomach up that I keep eating.
Is God a sandwich?
It depends how much you love Jesus.
What was the last movie you went to see in the theater?
Captain America Civil War last night. 2 nights ago.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs way up. It was really good.
Last one, you're about to be put to death. What's your final meal? Entree, dessert, and beverage.
Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, corn, biscuit, Jameson on the rocks, dessert, key lime pie.
Perfect.
And a cigar.
That's fair.
Send me home, Jesus.
That was perfect. Thank you, Willie.
Love ya.
You're fun. Thanks again to Willie Colon. What a guy.
He should really bulk up, work
Yeah,
out,
I
hit
mean,
the gym once in a while.
he should hit the gym. He's a small man.
Yeah.
Small man. Anyone listening to this is like, really? He's small? I could have sworn he was gigantic.
He is a giant.
He's large,
Yeah.
but he's so nice.
Yeah, real future in media.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's got a future in broadcasting, unlike myself. Okay, time for junk mail.
You've got junk mail.
All right, 40, what do we got?
Our question today is from Jeff K.
Okay.
As in question, run, Jeff, run. All right, we get it, Jeff. You like to exercise. So, what are the best type of French fries? Waffle, curly, crinkle cut, steak fries, or sweet potato fries?
My lord.
Yeah.
You guys really like when I power rank food on this podcast.
Left off shoestring, like
I would say that's like a
maybe he's so busy
steak
running. He
fry.
can't.
Like maybe
Yeah.
he's just he was too busy running.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess in the spirit of this podcast, I'll just power rank them.
Okay.
Because I could just say which ones are the best.
Do you
but-
want to start from the bottom?
Yeah, and now we're here.
And we'll then get to there.
Now we're
and
here.
then- right.
We start from the bottom
Okay, great.
and end at, obviously, I was going to say where I'm going, but no, spoiler alert. Okay, so we'll start with the bottom would be sweet potato fries, and here's why.
Agreed, completely.
Because you have to be in the mood for them. I'm
Yep.
not saying they're not good, but in the power rankings of French fries, they're at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because I can't really dip them in ketchup. You kind of can. Then sometimes they come with like, oh, maple bacon mayo. And I'm like, that's too much.
Just relax.
They're
Like,
great
yeah.
sometimes, but because you have to be in the mood for them, if I'm like, I'm getting fries, you only sometimes want sweet potato. So that's why
Exactly.
they de facto go to the bottom. Please don't have any sweet potato apologists send me angry tweets. I love sweet potato fries. Let that be known.
Sweet potato Twitter is just going to be
they're
aflame
they're
about this.
so
Yeah.
violent.
Yeah.
So after sweet potato fries, we're gonna move up to
Ooh.
crinkle cut.
Agreed again.
Really?
Totally.
This is the complete opposite of what
Like, what
happened
even
last week.
are those?
They're like the ones
They're
that
like spongy potatoes
yeah.
with wrinkles in them.
yeah.
I'm over them.
I'm like they're fine, but they're like a steak frite, but they're not as good.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're fine. Then we're gonna go steak fries. Big thick fry. Sometimes they're too thick for their own good, but again, I'm kind of putting shoestring in there because they're similar. I would go steak fry and then a shoestring because I like them thinner. I like to be able to pick up 8 at once and put them in my mouth. If you do that with steak fries, you're fucked.
Yeah. Steak fries and shoestring fries, they're like before and after photos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, of me before I ate fries and after I ate fries. Also not on here, wedges,
Wedges.
which I would put around steak fries. They're kind of the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Like potato wedges, KFC potato wedges.
Oh, yeah. Those are good.
And also not on here, smiley faces.
Wow. Bringing it back.
Those are my fucking favorite because
Yeah.
they're essentially just fried mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
They're
With
like little
an emoji in them.
Yes,
Yeah.
before emojis were even a thing.
Yeah.
What is it, Orida? Is that who makes those smiley face ones?
Orida? Florida?
Florida.
Is that how he got his start? He was making happy face fries?
I just sneezed in the middle of the podcast, so we're feeling a little silly about it now. No, but they made those smiley face ones that when you bit into them were like mashed potatoes. They were fucking
Yeah.
dope. Those would be the top of my list, but they don't get any fucking respect.
Hey, big shout to Orida.
Yeah, what up, Orida?
Is that how you say that?
I don't know.
Oreida?
How
right?
have you said it? How would you say it? I imagine it means Oregon, Idaho.
That makes so much sense.
Because it's where potatoes are from.
Wow. Did you just put that together right now?
No, I've just always assumed I could be completely wrong.
That just answered a question I didn't know I needed answering
Really?
for my whole life. Yeah.
I'm happy I could do that for
Yeah.
you.
I'm not looking it up. I'm going with that.
Yeah, that's
Great.
the same. That's me
Fantastic.
too. That's where
Yeah.
it came from. So then that leaves curly and waffle, so that we're gonna go in that order: curly and then waffle at the top.
I am in complete agreement.
Yeah, waffle fries are great.
Yeah, they're the best.
Really, really, really good.
Good texture.
Yeah, and you can
seasoning.
rip them in half and
Yeah.
have 2 fries. Like
Yeah,
they're big.
or like 20 fries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like the crunchiness. Yeah, you said texture. So if we're leaving smiley faces off, then waffle are the best kind of fry. But again, those smiley faces are everything to me. Any other kind of fry we're forgetting?
I don't think so. Does Orida sponsor podcasts? Because they're getting big shouts in this
They
episode.
do now.
Yeah.
They do now. All right, I'm glad we're in complete agreement. That's
Yeah.
always that's what they say. Embrace agreeing with one
Yeah,
another. It makes
totally.
really good TV.
I mean, it's just we're just right.
Yeah, it's like
not
what
we're
color
agreeing
is the
with each other, we're
sky?
just
Oh, I
correct.
say it's red. No, we
Yeah,
both know it's blue, and that's
exactly.
just how the world is, and we move on.
There was no bell for us getting the wrong answer
No,
here.
no, because we buzz here.
That's right.
Okay, guys, that's it for the podcast. We'll be back to do this again next week. You're welcome. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and rate it and leave a comment, but only if it's how many stars?
5.
And only if the comment is what?
Nice.
Yeah, nice and positive. I mean, if you have constructive criticism, fine, but like maybe don't say mean things. Because
Yeah.
what good has ever come from being mean on the internet?
We don't really want feedback from people.
I also can't find, once you've subscribed to the podcast, I can't find a way to see the ratings of the podcast. Probably for the best, because I'd
Yeah,
spend a little bit
they're
too
all-
much
they're
time
all
looking at
5.
that. Or you can listen on Google Play, Art19, SoundCloud, Stitcher, or through your electric can opener.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Does anyone still have those? My family used to have it like next to the microwave, attached to the bottom of the cabinets, and you would put the can on it, push the button, and it was like bzzz.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We kept ours by like our bags of Oritas.
Did ya?
Yeah.
That was one of those inventions that like came too late. Like it was revolutionary for 5 minutes, and then it became like, well, we don't even need that anymore.
Yeah. Was it too much to?
Yeah, I
come
don't
on,
know.
We can do that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a weird invention.
Yeah.
Quickly went away. Anyway, you can listen to our podcast on it now, though, so it's useful again.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Willie Colon. Thanks to producer Matt.
Thank you for having me back.
Producer Ashley over on sound. Producer Dave for just being Dave.
On the ones and twos.
On the ones and twos. Thanks to all you guys for listening. Bye. Love you. Mean it. Thanks to Orida.